If you grow up surrounded by dumb people.
Yeah, there it is. No one's correcting you.
If your parents are dumb and they're telling you to do dumb shit your whole life, then you think dumb shit is the right thing to do.
Did you just boil down social media to a...
Welcome to the Full Charge Power Hour. I'm Matt Fulchiron, and I'm assuming we're taping.
Yeah.
Where do we start? First of all, before I can even get to the announcements, how good does it feel to be here in a studio? No disrespect to the studio we built. Brendan Walsh did most of the work. And he did an incredible job. But now it's gone, number one. Number two.
It's knocking down walls around us everywhere we go.
The whole reason I started doing the podcast again was because, like, oh, we got a studio. But then the whole reason I got into the new studio is because, like, well, we got a podcast. But it's been a nightmare. Like, I haven't even been able to put the videos out because the sync. To keep the sync to the video, it takes about 2 or 3 days to do one episode. So it's just a nightmare for me.
I was just telling Aaron that's the only thing that's the biggest, change in entertainment in the last 20 years is the do-it-yourself ability that entertainers have now. But it comes with...
I hate do-it-yourself.
Well, yeah, Aaron said, perfect example. He's like, the problem is old dog, new tricks. Not that that's the case with you, but I bet you your patience is a lot shorter. I know you've been editing for a long time.
Yeah.
But you had to keep learning new forms of editing, right?
All the time. And not only that, by the time it gets to the social media, you have to use all these programs. Yeah. And then the programs just like once a month, they like to be like, hey, we changed everything around. Figure it out now.
Dude, I stopped at Boomerang on Instagram. I was like, I don't know what's happening there. I don't know how to make that happen. I'm out.
I'm still trying to figure out Vine. All right? I can't even get the app to work anymore.
Keep tapping it.
Was that not a phenomenon? What was it, 7 seconds of entertainment on a loop?
And didn't even last that long, but a lot of people still talk about it to this day, which is crazy.
There's people that made their name on Vine.
Yeah.
And it's just gone.
Yeah.
What about Snapchat? People do that shit?
I don't know. It's the app still shows up, so I'm assuming someone's still on it. Maybe kids. I don't know. That concludes the old man portion of the
podcast. We are in the modern world. Patreon.com/The Full Charge. Give us money, and we'll keep paying for studios. And also on Patreon, we have Eric Wendell movie review every week out on Patreon. Very busy in July. I'm going to Milwaukee. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to San Francisco, Sacramento, Dallas, Texas, and Denver, Colorado. Don't forget about I'm taping a special in Hermosa Beach, November 22nd. And then I'm taking the rest of my life off, man. What are we talking about here?
We got to tell
I'm just going to keep doing this?
Look, this is where I'm from in Milwaukee, so I got to remember to tell everybody to go out to the show.
Mm-hmm. You should.
I got lots of friends and family still back there.
I've just been paying for advertisements now.
Well, that's part of the deal.
Just doing it, but then also you could help me out.
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get 2 people there.
There you go.
And they'll come up to me after the show and be like, we're friends with Bryan.
You're being reasonable. I like that. Where are you going to be there?
I'm going to be in Oak Park, I believe.
Okay. No,
you want me to check?
Yeah, let's not mislead. Let's not mislead the peeps.
I just got a smartphone. I got an iPhone.
Oh, tell me all about those things. I heard you can take pictures on them. How long do you think it was before the first dick pic was taken on that fucking thing by the time they put that camera together?
24 hours.
Really? You think 24 hours?
There's easily somebody...
There's probably an engineer at iPhone when they were making it that always like, I wonder.
I guarantee you whoever was working on it sent a picture to...
Exactly, internal.
Yeah, so I bet it happened before it was even out. I just remember my cousin works for... so I'm going to be in Brookfield, Wisconsin.
Okay.
At the Milwaukee Improv. What am I talking about here?
There you go.
Oak Park's in Chicago.
Yes, that's why I got confused.
Yeah.
That's where some of my family lives out in Brookfield.
My cousin worked at Apple. He retired by the time before he was 60. Like, that's how good it is to be working there he got in early.
Yeah.
And I remember 2008, there was a family reunion, and he's showing my aunt my stand-up on the iPhone. And I remember going, who the fuck is going to want to watch stand-up on something that small? Like, completely missed it. I'm like the Forrest Gump that doesn't get anything. I was there, and I go, that's a terrible idea.
Dude, computers came out when I was in what was called junior high back then, but middle school.
Yeah.
And back then, before computer, you had to take typing classes, right? Because that's a skill it's still needed to learn.
Yeah.
I was working on a typewriter, which still translate to computers. But I remember when they installed the first computer labs in there, and they were like, "Listen, kids, you're gonna have to start signing up for computer lab." And I was like, "That's a waste of time." I don't know what's going on with that silly.
And it was
box.
so horrible back then too.
The DOS or whatever.
You had to type in all the programs.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. I was like, that seems like so much more
Well,
work.
here's the thing: people might not know. You type in this. It takes you like a half an hour or something,
All these codes.
or like a week, in a way, because you only have computer class twice a week.
Right, and there only has so much memory, can only go so fast.
And then you finally get it, and you hit return, and it's just something going like, just moving its arms or whatever, and you're like, that's it? It's amazing, but you're like, it doesn't seem very practical or that you can use it.
No.
How about teachers telling us like, hey man, you can't use a calculator. There's not going to be any calculators out there in the real world.
And
all we got is calculators.
All we got is calculators. Now that's not even a thing anymore. Now
Yeah.
you can use calculators. Now the calculators they make to compete with the phones are
Yeah.
like super crazy.
There's 8 different calculators I can use on my phone. You know, I have a calculator to start with. I can just type it into Google search.
Yeah.
I can also find a calculator.com. That's just out there for some reason.
Listen,
Who's doing that? Who's putting that up?
I don't know. But I could tell you right now.
I'm going to put up ruler.com. What?
You don't have to do math. You don't have to find your way anywhere. You don't have to remember a phone number.
You don't have to write a sentence.
You don't have to write a sentence. You don't have to know another language. You could just talk into your phone and just point it at somebody.
Yeah.
Like it's over.
Write me a report about the War of 1812. And you're going to get something.
So that's where they draw the line. The schools have programs now they can pick up on if you've used AI or ChatGPT or any of that stuff now.
It's better than handing in nothing.
Fair enough.
I guess not. You're in trouble, right? That's plagiarism.
No, and I can't remember if I ever told you my college rule was, because I was an excellent C+ student. Mm-hmm. My whole rule was just get by, just survive and get the diploma. Because I didn't really know what I was going to do with the diploma anyway. Just get it. Because no one checks in the end, right?
Sure.
Like, for most degrees, which mine was a communications degree or a fine arts degree,
right?
No one cares whether
you need
got
that
an
70%.
A, I found out where was the top, and that was it. How do I get out of here? So
that's actually really smart. I was like, I'm going to excel at everything I do, and then you graduate, and nothing you did transfers over. Like, first of all, they don't look at the grades, and second of all, I couldn't do like everything I learned in school. I couldn't really apply to. If I came to LA when I was 18, and if I came to LA when I was 22, I'd have the exact same experience. Actually, they would like me better if I was 18.
Yeah.
They'd be like, get your ass to work. We know you can run your ass all over town. We know you can PA.
I don't know. So that's the only thing I would disagree with you with, because I was the quickest way to get to A to B. So my whole thing was I would take, if I had to write an essay, it would be the first paragraph is tell them what you're going to write about. Then in the second paragraph was write about what you just talked about, what you were going to write about. And then to finish up, you recap all the things that you discussed on top. So I really never said anything, right? So, yeah, that got me that C. Exactly. That got me a C. But I think actually it does help you. You do train yourself to always put the best foot forward. You just have to watch out for the con men around you that'll take advantage of it by not doing anything and just take credit for you. That's what you have to be careful about. That's what I tell my kids. It's like you should work really hard, but you got to be careful about the people that don't and know how to manipulate you to get the most for themselves.
Right.
That's the world now.
How can someone do that at school? Like, so you're a hard worker. You're hanging out with a guy that barely does anything. How is that guy going to take advantage of the hard worker?
At school?
In school.
He's not.
Oh, okay.
He's going to do it later when he gets the first job.
They will. Group projects exist.
Oh,
that's true.
Group projects.
That's right, the group projects.
Is there anything worse Then when they're like, oh, we're going to pair you up some people who are lazy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy's really stupid on top of that.
I've got a lot of signatures in my yearbook that were like, hey man, thanks for that class.
Hey, at least you got a thank you.
That's true.
At least they halfway acknowledged
In
that
writing.
you hooked him up.
Yeah.
In writing, exactly. You got documentation.
Yeah, no, my mom went to college later in life. And they were like, yeah, group project. And she was like, peace. Dropping this class. I was like, Mom, that you're right on.
Yeah, because
You're
they were
right
like, ooh,
on.
the responsible lady who's older is going to do
yeah.
she'll do it.
Totally.
She's going to want to do it for Aaron, so here's the question. Did you ever look up those people to see how far they got in life? They're probably all CEOs running companies now.
I have no idea.
No, you should look into it. That's your project. That's your life project right now.
If they're rich, you have their signature in their yearbook. You can forge some checks.
This guy right here knows what's up.
The old man portion of the show is not over.
Apparently not.
Because I went to a pool party on July 4th.
Oh.
And I wore these sneakers I knew I shouldn't be wearing because the arch is a little bit off.
Wait, when you say sneakers, because it's all different. Like
I'll tell you.
What kind of shoes? Because what would you call those?
I would call these sneakers, but I was wearing something different. I was wearing a pair of Adidas shoes, which are like leather and heavier and bigger and bulkier.
But not a running shoe.
They're actually a skateboarding shoe. You know how Nike and Adidas were like, we're in on it too.
Yeah.
It didn't really last. It's funny because skateboarders liked Adidas that weren't made for skateboarding, but they don't care about shoes that were made for skateboarding.
Right.
But and you're always talking about how like these shoes don't have much of an art.
No, they don't.
They
have
have something
support.
though. I'm feeling them right now. And my point is, I put on these Adidas, these Adidai. Is that a single
Multiple,
shoe?
yeah.
And the arch was just like kind of a little bit off, like a little bit further towards the front than I wanted it to be.
All right.
And my foot starts hurting a little bit on Friday at the party. The next day, Saturday, whenever I stand up, it hurts, but then it goes away as I walk around. And then on Saturday night, I can't even sleep. The pain is so bad. And I'm like, I still have things to do on Sunday though. I still am going to the movies with my wife. No big deal. It's in our neighborhood. And I'm doing a set at Flappers in Burbank. But so I drove to the movie theater, which I normally would have walked to. But you still can't get a spot like right. I don't have a handicap sticker.
No.
So I'm still walking.
Should have called me with all my canes and crutches.
You could have dropped me off?
No, I could have just gotten you.
Yeah. I do that, and then I go, you can't park anywhere near Flappers in Burbank. It's just not set up that way.
No.
At the very least, you're getting a parking garage nearby.
Right.
And Monday I didn't do much with it, but I was really in pain, and it was swollen, and to the point where you go like, oh, did I break a bone and not know it? Because there's this comedian, J.P. Connolly. He has a story about how he was just standing in his kitchen doing dishes, and he broke a bone in his foot. And you go, is this just what happens now? But I do know it's an old skateboarding injury from the 80s, actually.
So you had flashbacks all of a sudden.
Yeah, because I knew what it was. I'm like, this is when I tried to go off Norman Strickland's jump ramp, which was just like so high. Like I would have skated it like it was a quarter pipe. In other words, I would have gone up, done a trick, and come back down. This kid was like an evil Knievel, and he's flying off the top of it. And I felt like I had to do it. And I went up and I just landed on my foot, and it's almost like my foot folded. It should have been a broken bone. It wasn't. It was some kind of bruise. My point is the thing's just starting to swell up and get red. And my wife is freaking out, you know. And this is what's good about being married, and what it can work against you, I think, is that like you're going to the doctor if you're married, most likely. Your lady will say, should really go check this out.
Well, yeah, if you're going to bring it up, the next statement is, it's getting checked out.
Right. Where it goes off the rails a little bit is where it's 10 o'clock last night, and she's looking at Google, and apparently she's discovered that I have some sort of brain aneurysm, and that's why my foot hurts. And so now all of a sudden, it's like an emergency room situation at night, which you don't want to do if you don't have to. I didn't do it.
Oh, okay. So you're not like me.
Oh, no.
By the time my wife had finished saying anything about that, I would have already been in the emergency room before she finished talking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have waited for her because obviously, I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac. So
hypochondriac, but also you kind of got to shut down any self-Google searches.
I totally agree with you there. That's never good. It never ends well. And doctors will tell you that. That's never
the first thing they tell you. So, I mean, and then I got up in the middle of the night last night, and it was like, fucking, I'm going to get you, sucker. You ever seen that movie?
A long time ago.
Where like his foot gets run over by a car or something. It's just like, his mom's like, you need to put some Epsom salt on that. I'm blowing up like fucking Mickey Mouse's gloves, you know, but it's on my foot. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm definitely going to have to go to the doctor. And then I woke up and it was fine.
Did you elevate?
Yes.
Did you ice?
I had it on a pillow. I iced. And that's what happened.
So, well, you start there. You always start there.
This went way too long for just wearing the wrong shoes.
Well, but apparently...
An injury. Like a real injury.
Apparently it has history. And by the way, for those of you who may not know who Evel Knievel is, when you say dude was doing Evel Knievel stuff, just so we're all clear, and look, I came from the Evel Knievel times.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But there wasn't a single thing that guy did where he didn't literally almost break every bone and destroy everything inside of his body every time and think he could just drink 18 Miller Lights afterwards and everything was going to be healed. The times were different, dude. The times were different.
Most of the footage you see is of him not making it.
There is. I think he made something once, and it was because it was like an easy jump. Yeah. Other than that,
he was no athlete.
No.
There's a reason he did all this on a bike is because he didn't run, he didn't walk to the store, nothing.
Let me ask you
he's
something.
A cigarette smoker, most likely.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever, when you found out Evel Knievel was doing something, did you tune in going, I hope he makes it? That's not why anybody ever tuned in. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no, I did hope he made it, but the excitement is he probably won't.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was a couple years ago they tried to kind of reinvent the whole Daredevil thing. Do you remember there was like some Red Bull thing that happened? But the problem is these guys always succeed. And I'm not saying I want to see them fail.
Yeah.
But it just, there's something when you've been trained to watch a guy's tibia, whatever, it's just like shatter and dangle in the air while the motorcycle's still dragging him for another 450 feet.
No,
you're just...
Here's the difference. We have a ton of guys like Evel Knievel that are incredibly skilled, like skateboarders, motocrossers, BMXers, you name it. And I'm just scratching the surface here. They're all really good because they practice all day.
Yeah.
Then you have the jackass style stuntman who's just like, I do it when the camera's on.
That's true.
I don't practice. Practicing is futile. Like, you're not going to make it anyway. It's kind of the point. But, so, like, BMXers of today and motocrossers of today must watch Evel Knievel and be like, that guy fucking sucked. Because there's thousands of guys that can do what Evel Knievel couldn't do.
Yeah.
And I understand that he's a pioneer, but he's also just like, I mean, how often did he practice jumping a motorcycle? Because it looks like never.
I saw a documentary on it. I think the problem is when you practice, you're only jumping over. Like he was like, I'll jump over 85 buses. We're like, all right, well, when you practice, how many do you do? He's like 2. Yeah. Like it's like he has no idea. You know, he's talking about physics and
you should be adding a car every day.
Yeah, like running a marathon. You got to build up to it.
Have you ever seen Hot Rod starring Andy Samberg?
I don't know if I've actually.
It's so good. Bill Hader's in it. Danny McBride's in it. And fucking Andy Samberg is just this shitty stuntman on a bike. And he invites the whole neighborhood to watch him jump the pool. I mean, luckily it's a pool.
Right.
Because he just kind of flips forward and just falls in it. This movie is so fucking underrated. Hot Rod. You gotta see it.
I'm gonna see it.
You gotta see it.
Can I let my kids
Bryan,
watch it?
Let's go see it right now. I think you kind of can.
Because when you're done here, I'm going to tell you something that I actually did because of you and Craig.
There's drug use.
I don't care about that.
Okay. So you don't want to talk about it though.
No. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to finish your thoughts about.
Oh, that's the end of my thought. I recommended a movie that's been out.
You
for
and Craig are really good. When you guys
almost
get
20
excited
years.
about talking about movies, it's exciting. I get excited.
Yeah.
You guys have great memories. You remember everything that happens in the movies. I see movies, love them. Don't remember much. I'm not a quoting guy. I'll just say, yeah, that was a good movie, right? You guys are so good at hyping it up, getting it. So I got really excited. A couple podcasts ago, you guys were talking about Bad Trip.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the scene where he goes into the cowboy bar and he falls off. You guys fucking hilarious. Nobody knew. So yesterday, kids home for summer vacation.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to watch Bad Trip? The boy said it's really funny. He's like, sure.
Yeah.
We start watching it and we get to the scene where he goes into the gorilla cage. Do you remember that? Well, you should have.
No, I don't
because that
remember.
would have helped me.
Yeah.
That would have helped me a lot. Okay, now when we were growing up, it would have been enough just for like a boob flash or like an intimate like scene with your parents. That would be awkward.
Sure. Oh no, it was horrific. Like there was this line in Good Morning Vietnam where Robin Williams is like, he's the white man in most need of a blowjob. I saw that with my parents, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And he just says the word blowjob.
So, look, I understand that this movie was going to push the envelopes. Not a big deal, right? And I'm like, I'm not afraid to watch. My kid's almost 18, but he's still in high school.
Yeah.
But we don't watch a lot of that pushing the envelopes.
Well, it is weird nowadays, too, because when we grew up, there was a lot of rated R movies that were off the wall. There was always some titties out.
Yeah, always.
There was always just horrible things that just have not aged well at all.
So here's where it
that
gets
are actually like sexual assault and things like that.
Yeah, and look, we've had all the conversations. My kids are, pretty, in this world, there's things you don't even want to know what your kids know, right?
Yeah.
I get all that.
Sure.
However,
I don't even want to know what your kids know.
Sitting down and watching that scene, I'm just going to wreck the scene for everybody if you haven't seen it.
You can't wreck this scene.
He goes into a gorilla cage.
You know
There's
it's going to
happen.
happen.
I should have known. I should have known because it was Eric Andre. He goes in. And there's obviously a gorilla in there. They got their marks all sitting out there.
Hold on. They're at the zoo. They're on a tour with a bunch of people.
And they're marks. These are all marks for the most part. Yeah.
Right.
So he says, I'm going to go and take a selfie with the gorilla. The gorilla takes him, rips his pants down, and starts hitting him up from behind, right? And,
as you do.
As the gorilla does. People are mortified.
Gorilla gonna gorilla.
He gets out. And I'm like, all right, that was awkward enough for my son.
Yeah.
Figured, it's going to end here, right?
Sure, yeah.
No.
You still got 30 minutes of a movie.
Aaron, I want you to take notes. You're not watching this one with your kids. So then he goes, oh, wait.
Well, she's 4. So
no. Listen, I'm saying take notes now because you're going to forget. And it's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, it's an old movie.
I heard the guy's talking about this. And then you'll forget this part.
Exactly. It's really important. So then he goes back in. And, of course, this time... the gorilla now starts making him do oral. Basically, he's face,
fucking the
face
guy.
fucking Eric Andre. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, before I could stop the father-son movie outing, the gorilla ejaculates all over his face, and I'm like, how do I get out? I got to get out of this movie right now. Like it's. And I
forgot about this. This is such a good movie, dude. I gotta watch this.
Yes.
I gotta watch this again.
I could watch that with you.
Tell your kids to come over. I'm watching it tonight.
I can watch it with you, and it would be funny. And it's just, I just got to that point. I'm like, wow, okay. There's just a lot going on here that I just was like, it was.
So like, I know you like as the Bryan that's gonna laugh his ass off at this.
Absolutely.
So are you just sitting there like tight? And not laughing?
No,
Are you trying to pretend like it's fun?
Yeah, I'm like, ha, right?
Kid?
And then
you want to share a beer?
I told him, I said, and not that his mom would get mad. I turned it off. I'm like, just tell mom we watched something else.
Right.
I don't even want to have these conversations later because like.
My dad gave me that talk with Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Yeah.
The part where he's like, I'm gonna go play some tennis. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go suck a dick. And my dad just goes, when your mother gets home, turn this off. I couldn't enjoy it anyway, though. So I was going through what your son was going through. Is I could not enjoy Eddie Murphy's Delirious with my dad walking in and out of the room.
So here's how I see it. He can go watch it on his own.
Sure.
I don't want to watch it with him.
Yeah.
It was just too much.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of other movies we can watch together.
Yeah.
That I think that will have uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah.
I just forgot about Eric Andre and how far he can push stuff, and it is funny.
Yeah.
But
That's a bad trip.
I couldn't find a comfort zone enough to say, hey, let's keep going with this film and see where it takes us.
Sure. I wish you would have, but I'll pick up where you guys left off. And I forgot about that scene. It's not even my favorite scene. It's so funny because the people that are, they're like, oh my God, there's people reacting to it there. But
Okay, you saw it in a movie theater?
no, I'm talking about, they brought a bunch of people on the tour to freak out. A bunch of unsuspecting people are freaking out because they're witnessing this.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
So, but this never ends because I remember when I was about 30, it's a weird thing happens when you become an adult and you think, I'm an adult. My parents are adults. We're going to connect on an adult level now. I'm going to get them season 3 of Curb Your Enthusiasm for. They love Seinfeld. They know who Larry David is. Some of the things Larry David says and the accent and everything remind me of my dad. So I'm showing them this, and it's a thing where Larry David gets a pubic hair stuck in his throat from like going down on his wife. And even my dad's laughing. My dad's doing that thing too, like, haha, this is funny. But we were both like, this shouldn't be happening. We should not be watching.
So how old were you at this? Is like
when I was 30 years old. which makes him about 60 years old. And we're just like, funny, but not now.
So you are in agreement there are certain things that are not
teams.
Shared experiences are necessary. At least for me.
It gets easier.
I don't know about that.
It gets easier. If I was 14 and he was 44 and we're watching some content about some guy with a fucking pubic hair in his throat, I think we'd be a little more uncomfortable around each other. Then we were just slightly. And I'm only speaking for myself. He might have been fine.
Yeah.
But he also, he's not known for watching that type of humor. You know, he's not into streaming. He's like a network TV guy.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get a lot of that anyway, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I watched Howard Stern's Private Parts.
Right.
On VHS with my parents.
And you think, like,
how'd that go?
That's pretty heartwarming for Howard Stern, that movie. But it's still like.
There's still moments.
There's still moments, and there's like a documentary part where they're like interviewing people that are on the show, where it's like a lot more real and weird. And then there's titties out. Whenever there's titties out, things are weird.
Yeah, I grew up in Wisconsin, so yeah. Titties, no.
Yeah, no, I grew
swearing, no.
I went to Catholic school. I actually wasn't allowed to watch rated R movies, so that's something people don't know about.
I was the classic. You got sent out of the room.
Yeah,
older siblings that were old enough to watch stuff got to. It's like you out. Yeah. It was the classic. You held off, right?
Yeah.
Your parents were like, no, you cannot be exposed to this stuff until.
It's like we know you're going to be exposed, but we're not going to help you.
No,
we're not going to help you. We're not going to support this.
But now, come on, how do you even stop anything?
You can't stop anything. It's just that's gonna be coming at your kids. They're gonna email it to your kids. Yes. Hey, we got this new list of emails we're sending out fucking smut to.
Well, also, there's going to be the one kid at school that's just going to expose everybody to everything because, there's no filters at that household, and it's just
one rotten apple is the best metaphor ever invented. Because it just takes one person to fuck everything up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It takes one violent person to fuck up a peaceful gathering. It takes like one obnoxious person to fuck up a classroom, to fuck up everybody from learning.
I think that.
But enough about me.
Oh, shocking that we both found our way together.
I also got my mom, like the Mad Men. There's this, I don't know if it happened to you, but there's this moment where I'm like, oh, I'm going to show my parents what they're missing. I know what they would like. And I figured my mother would love Mad Men because she used to work in New York City as a secretary in the early 60s. So I'm like...
So you gave her PTSD. Great.
Yeah, well, I showed it to her and all she said was, oh, it wasn't like that. Like nobody was having sex like that. Which they probably were. She just didn't know it.
There it is.
Thank God in heaven.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks for being one of the good ones. I'm Don Draper's kid.
So there you have it. So Aaron, no Curb Your Enthusiasm for your daughter, no Bad Trip, no Delirious from Eddie Murphy.
It's also funny that you don't realize how, and this is what you're saying, I think, well, you've never seen it before, but like how edgy or how graphic or how uncomfortable certain things are going to be when you watch them with your parents or with your kids, with your family, with your grandparents.
Well, we've talked about this before, that PG, when we were growing up, is rated R now.
PG was off the charts, dude.
Yeah.
16 Candles. It's got nudity. It's got essentially sexual assault, but it's like a lighthearted sexual assault. In other words, they're carrying around an unconscious woman.
Right. Yeah, different times, I guess, huh? Is that what the kids say?
Very different times.
Yeah, no, it's just in general, though. I mean, the content that was allowed with the realm of PG or after 9 o'clock on television, back in the 70s and the 80s, is so different than. I mean, it's different now because now it's streaming, so no one cares.
Yeah,
right? Streaming is completely unfiltered, but there were no filters for a lot of that stuff, and it took a lot to get to an R.
Yeah,
and it was usually swearing. It wasn't even nudity, right? It was usually swearing that got the R.
Yeah, there was always something weird that got the R, and it usually wasn't violence.
No, America loves violence.
Yeah.
We love our violence in movies.
Nudity could throw it in some ways. I don't know what would get you an R, because R and PG weren't that different back then.
I think, like, if you look at Airplane, was that rated R or was that PG?
I think
it was PG at the time, right?
I think Airplane might be rated R. Airplane 2 definitely should be.
Well, Airplane 2, I don't even know if I even watched that one.
Oh, there's more nudity in that one.
Yeah, because I think they did the typical gratuitous nudity in the first one, where they just ran the bouncing breasts across the camera just to do it, kind of thing. I wonder if you don't touch them, maybe that doesn't get you an R back then. I don't know.
What does this say? How is the movie Airplane only rated PG? That's a Reddit comment. So I assume
all right, well, close enough. Reddit's the truth, right?
We'll call that truth.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah, Airplane's not that bad, I don't think.
No, but again, for the time.
Yeah.
Of what was considered acceptable is probably not considered. I shouldn't say that. I think if you do comedy right, there's people that don't like certain things. They're missing the point.
Yeah.
Sometimes things go over their head. Like you're not catching on to what's going on here. You're looking at it straight as an arrow.
Right.
And it's not.
Yeah.
The comedy is not straight as an arrow.
Right.
That's a you problem, right?
Sure.
That's the way I look at it.
Right.
And then but their argument they would say is, yeah, but think of all the dumb people that don't know it and they take it for face value and they're cheering it on. And be like, again, we don't speak for dumb people. You can't change dumb people. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't just not do things because there's too many idiots that will take things at face value.
Sure. Yeah. This reminds me of just how much I used to watch Three's Company. And nowadays you wouldn't even blink at a lot of this stuff. But the premise is weird for nowadays. Like, a guy has to pretend like he's gay so he can live with two women.
Right.
Like the apartment manager actually cares about this. All right. And like the girls just came up with this idea. They're like, hey, I know you can live here, but I told the landlord you're gay. And then for the next 8 years, this guy's got to pretend like he's gay. No big deal on paper, right? How about I tell you this? The landlord comes over every fucking day and hangs out. And you got to pretend like you're gay. The reason it reminded me is because there was stuff on that show. I used to watch when I was 8 years old. And so I remember saying to my dad, like, there's an episode where someone thinks Chrissy is a hooker. And I say to my dad, I go, Dad, what's a hooker? And he goes, it's a woman who sells her body.
Then he walked out of the room, so you didn't have to do any follow-up questions.
It's like, so there I am. Even more confused.
Yep.
Because what's happening on TV, it looks like it's something sexual.
Yeah. Bravo to your dad. That was a great line on the fly like that.
Whipped it out just right then and there.
He didn't have
he
didn't say ... for sex or any of that stuff. He just says sells her body. You're thinking, what, like a hand or?
That's exactly right. And it's like, I didn't know what he meant for sex. I didn't know that's what he meant. Sells her body for sex. And bravo. I mean, nowadays I assume there's like a conversation or something, or is it just like, I'll tell you everything, but I'll tell you in 10 years? What goes on in parenting today?
Oh, dude, you have to get way ahead of the curve.
What do?
You just have to be like, look, I already know either you've already seen some shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about just sex. I'm talking about the stuff that, is available on the phones that you can get access to is pretty messed up, right? Like, so there's a pretty good chance, as I told you, there's going to be the one unfiltered kid that's already going around. Like, it started in, kindergarten where he was like, Santa's not real.
Yeah.
And by third grade, he's like, check out this. And like, it's like they're gone.
In my day,
rails.
it was the guy, there was always a kid that brought in like a Playboy or a Penthouse. Always, and like out of the backpack real quick.
Yeah.
Or like I would go to my one friend's house and I wouldn't even want to go because like I knew I was going to get in trouble eventually hanging out with this guy because there was always like fireworks going off like in the woods. This guy, he rolled a cigarette out of like oak tree leaves.
He's just making his own shit up.
He's just trying to like this. Like I think he had rolling papers or he just rolled it in like a piece of notebook paper. Trying to smoke these leaves. But I mean, that's what he was up to. Like he just only wanted to break the rules.
Yeah,
that's what it was mostly about. And you just I think we were just talking about this. You're standing next to people who are fucking it up and you just get like sucked in with them because you're standing next to them. Or you just don't, you get worn down saying no. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Next thing you know, you're smoking a maple leaf.
Yeah, or it's also like, especially with this stuff, the content, right?
Yeah.
You don't really want to see it, but at the same time, you're like, well, what is it that I don't want to see, right? Like, therein lies the
now
problem.
You're watching a man fuck a jar.
Some weird shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I told you guys a long time ago when we made our buddy grab his dad's porno mags out of his closet, and then we got to the one where they're peeing all over each other, and we didn't have the capacity to process what was happening here
because
and why.
it's all foreign.
And
the whole thing is foreign. You don't understand any of this.
And who are you going to get an explanation for that back then?
You can't, because you can't ask an adult.
No.
Because you think it's the end of the world if you get in trouble for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in trouble for like crossing the street when I wasn't supposed to. This just seems like, especially if you throw in some religion, if you grew up religious, this just seems like you told somebody you murdered somebody. It's like telling your parents you murdered somebody.
Oh, yeah. There was some end of the world scenarios as a kid, which usually is typical when you're a kid. You think everything's the end of the world, right?
So, and you don't even know how to get the porno mags back in the location. No, like, how am I even going to get them back?
Yeah.
You're not even thinking it through.
I mean, there's no dinner table conversation with your parents in the 80s of like, so I have a question for you guys as long as we're allowed to bring anything up.
Yeah.
And not get in trouble. Yeah. Like, so why do people piss on each other? I'm sorry, what? Get the soap. So
that's kind of easier to deal with than sex, because you can just go, those people are insane. Those people have issues. Normal people don't do that.
It isn't easy.
Normal people stick it in your butthole.
So to go back to your thing, it's like with our kids, we just were like, look, I don't know who's been showing you what. We can probably guess. We know the kids you hang out with. We know which one probably is showing you stuff. But you're going to see a lot of messed up stuff. You need to understand that, like you just said, it's not normal. Do not do crap like that. And if you have any questions, you need to ask. You need to say something, because you're just going to mess yourself up.
Yeah.
In the long run, if you start if you're too young, you get exposed to that stuff.
Yeah.
And you have no way to process that.
Yeah.
And you think that's normal.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Right.
So you as a parent, you just have to accept the fact that like this shit goes on. It's kind of like saying like, you know, to a wife, like your kids are going to masturbate and you're just going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Okay.
You have to pretend.
Yeah. There's a game. We're all going to play the game.
Yeah.
But you know, you have to somehow or another figure out. Otherwise.
Yeah. No, I think that's very evolved, because there was a very much, when we grew up, there was very much like, well, you're just going to have to figure it out. Yeah. I could actually really help you with this, but I'm uncomfortable talking about it. So you're just going to have to figure it out on your own.
Well, did you get jealous? Did you have any friends that had really liberal parents that would like they would tell their kids everything, and like they were like,
I had a friend.
Tell us what it is. We'll sit down and talk to you about it. And
Yeah.
You're like, I could never talk to my parents.
So
about
two
that
examples I can think of are I had a friend who had HBO, and his parents were just totally cool with him watching rated R movies, and that was crazy to me. And my mom was friends with his mom, but there's very separate rules. But when you go over there, you get to see the rated R movies or whatever. But when you go home, you have to pretend like you didn't see them.
That's what I was curious. So your
Yeah.
mom didn't say at that you can watch them over there, you just can't watch them at our house, which has been a weird rule.
Didn't even say that much, because it was kind of like my mom didn't want to have to deal with getting involved with what happened over there.
Right.
I think she's just kind of like, I did my part,
Yep.
and I can only control what goes on, which is very adult of her.
Yeah.
But it's they knew. Luckily, we had like sex ed at school,
Yeah. Whatever.
because
that
like
was,
I
yeah.
never got to talk really at home.
Look.
But and I also don't have any kids, so it worked out. Thank you, public school. I went to public school for 2 crucial years where I got sex ed, and I don't even think they have sex ed anymore. I know teachers talking
No,
about sex.
I don't think so. I think that's one of those things again.
That was
they're
like-
worried about it crossing lines. But I got to be honest with you. I don't know how yours was. I look back on it now. I'm like, they were genius. They couldn't have made that stuff more boring.
Oh yeah.
Right, which isn't probably
Sure.
intentional, right? Like
Right.
they're not going to jazz it up and be like, "Yeah, huh?" And this has happened, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. Like they're
Right.
like, "Listen, here's what happens." Like
Yeah.
find the most monotone people to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Right.
Just really get into the boring, ins and outs.
People
literally.
people freak out and they go, "Oh, it's gonna make you want to have sex." It makes you want to not have sex because there's like 8 venereal diseases they go over,
just leave
and
it
every
at that.
single one of them is horrible. And you're not gonna like want to like. It's hard enough to go to the doctor as an adult, but as a kid, you've got to get to the doctor. You've got to have a story about, oh, my dick hurts because I was playing football. Like how are you gonna get to the doctor? You don't want the shit in the first place. And I just have always been so afraid of having children at a young age that it seeped into my adulthood. But it all seemed like. And then on top of that, it was like, wear a condom? No problem. I swear to God, so many people have told me, fuck condoms. I've never used condoms. Condoms. I'm like, okay. I think that's crazy. I was always like, yeah, I'm using them.
It's so funny. You bring up the fact that we were literally raised on fear, right? Stranger danger,
AIDS.
scared straight.
AIDS. So it was the
Venereal-
first.
Everything they led with was like, look, here's how your life is probably going to end soon.
Right, yeah.
That's how they lead.
Yeah.
To anything that you thought was fun.
Yeah.
They're like, okay.
Did you watch like those films on a projector about eating disorders?
Probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, but they're all so old. They're like from the 70s or whatever. And they're all about like, I don't know. They had this one where this woman's just eating like this teenager is eating like a whole pack of donuts and like a whole thing of orange soda.
I've done that.
And then fucking puking.
I didn't do that part. I just kept my gut.
It was just so foreign to me. It's not something I've ever wanted to do. I've never, I understand bulimia, but I've never wanted to pig out and then throw up.
No, it's horrible. I mean, it's
Obviously lots of people do it. You can't laugh too hard at it. But at the same time, it never seemed attractive to me. Neither did starving to death.
No.
Neither did anorexia.
no, but I mean, there's so far there's so much going on with those
Sure.
those people that that's the heartbreaking part of it. But yeah, you start seeing it, and again, it's like everything. It's almost not to steal from a Patrick Keane joke. They start a lot of these things. They tell you about it. You never heard about it until they tell you about it, and then they
Right.
tell you about it, and they tell you don't do it, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But now
and
I
that-
want to do it because you told me not to do it.
Right.
I want to experience it.
Sure,
Something
and-
I didn't know about 10 seconds ago.
Right. And the moment you realize anorexia works, that's when, like, I've flirted with anorexia. I've been like, I'm barely going to eat today because I want to feel thin. I've done that. But that was at like a much later age. I forget my point about this. You can't live like that though.
You thought success equated to being skinny.
Is
that still a thing?
I just liked feeling skinny.
That's
and
it?
like you accidentally missed breakfast or something, and then what did it for me is I was dating this girl that did the master cleanse.
Okay, yeah, that was
and
a big
I went
thing
5 days without eating any food, and I was like, food's a fucking myth, you know. But I never went full anorexia. I don't recommend it because if there are nowadays when I'm traveling, sometimes I don't get to eat that much, and you really feel the difference. Even like I hate to say this, eating healthy, like eating walnuts and shit and oatmeal, and I still feel like crazy lightheaded if I don't get enough calories.
It's calories or lacking protein or whatever it is. By the way, I had Master Cleanse. I forgot how popular that was.
You did it before I did.
I did, and man, I shit out stuff that you'd only find in a fucking shark stomach when they cut that shit out. I was like, where was all this stuff in my body?
Yeah. It's just hiding out.
Huh? I guess so.
It's just hiding out in your intestines.
But I don't necessarily know if that's a good thing to do or not.
It doesn't necessarily need to come out.
No.
I shit my pants at work when I did the Master Cleanse. I say shit my pants, I actually pissed out of my asshole. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan.
And it's so weird because the first 2 days you're like the same weight, and then on the third day you're like somebody skinny.
Yeah, I mean again. I get the obsession with it, but yeah, the fact that they don't really talk about it anymore tells me that there was something that wasn't quite right about, or is it still a thing? I don't know. The Master Cleanse stuff. Is it still a thing?
The Master Cleanse was a fad.
Yeah.
People just liked it because people love being thin.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things where like, oh, we're going to pitch this as healthy. Who pitched it as healthy? My girlfriend to me. I don't know. Is it? I don't think it is necessarily. No doctor's ever been like, you know what you got to do? You got to drink lemonade and maple syrup.
That's right.
And cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
For the next week.
Yeah.
Don't eat anything.
That's right.
Don't eat anything. Yeah, no, that's not recommended.
No. Though their intermittent fasting is now the new thing.
Right, but does a doctor recommend that? No.
Yeah, but intermittent fasting is not a bad thing because you're still eating. It's just you have to just when
you're
do you
still
eat.
Eating every day.
Yeah,
right?
when you eat.
So I do that on accident.
Yeah.
I don't like. There's certain things I don't like to do on a full stomach. I don't like doing anything social on a full stomach. I don't eat. I do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do, and I feel just fine about it.
Maybe that's how you hurt yourself. Did you have a full stomach?
Yes, I did. It was 4th of July, and I pigged out. I even ate KFC.
There it is. There it is. It's the KFC.
Yeah.
It's all the sodium in there.
That's what it is.
You got gout. You got temporary gout.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Sounded like.
Maybe I definitely should go to the doctor. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I eat, and I can't recommend. This is not a medical podcast, folks, if you haven't figured that out. I eat light all day, and this is especially when I'm working. And then after I do my show at night, I just eat whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
I swear it's got to be less than 2,000 calories a day.
Well, you're saying total or before you get to the...
Total.
Okay.
I'd say I have less than 1,000 before my dinner.
Well, you don't have a gut. Like I got a gut.
I do have
no,
a gut, but
no, you don't.
But the point is, I think it's just about like not having that many calories.
Oh yeah, no. It's if you've seen.
It's not about like eating, because I've heard eat a big breakfast, eat a big lunch, and then have a light dinner. I hate to tell you, I'm not having a light dinner ever. Like I'm chilling at dinner, and I'm sitting down, and I'm not getting back up and getting back to work. So I'm gonna just keep eating. So if I'm gonna overeat at dinner, might as well not overeat during the rest of the day.
I'm the closer at our house still.
Oh,
so
really?
Anybody who doesn't finish
the
anything,
trash compactor?
you can't. If it can't go in the trash, if it's gonna get thrown out, right?
Yeah. Give it to dad?
Yeah, give it to dad. Because I was raised by parents who grew up in the Depression
era. You don't
throw away
You don't throw anything away.
Yeah,
My parents the same way.
I reluctantly, I'm a closer.
Yeah.
I'm like, just dump it on the
So our parents aren't boomers, really. Like my dad was born in 1944, just the cutoff. It's 45 for boomers. So he's part of this older, like silent generation that, yeah, man, like depression was on the heels of every thought back then.
My parents were born in 1930 and 1932.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right, because you're the youngest.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So they're not even close to boomers.
They were actually alive during the Depression.
They were, yeah. Things were different.
Fuck yeah, things were different, dude.
Dude, you think about it, like all the things that we worry about in this world, They grew up in a time. They grew up during World War II.
Yeah.
In Chicago, and even in Chicago, you had to turn. They would do blackouts.
Right. To save money.
No. Because they were at war, and you didn't want anybody to see your city and bomb you.
Oh my God!
Like that's how much that's how far they thought it could go.
Yeah.
So they would literally do blackouts where no lights were allowed to be on, anything, so that the enemy could not find you. Even it's like that's the kind of world that they grew up on.
Yeah. Yeah.
They grew up in a world where like it was guaranteed. Quite frequently, you would see military pull up in your neighborhood, go knock on a door to let them know that their kid's not coming back, like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That's the world that they grew up in.
World War and the Depression.
That's insane. That's like just that alone. And now think of that, and then everything else they've experienced since then.
Yeah. No, they've seen it all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In their lifetime.
I mean, our lifetimes are ridiculous. So that we just like. The fact that we are the transition generation and just we're born, we're basically living, it's the 70s with a tint of this, it's the 50s with the coloring of the 60s. So like there is like drugs out there and there is like weird stuff out there. There is like porno mags that we can steal, stuff like that. But you're just watching TV and listening to the radio, and that's all filtered through the government, through a government agency.
Right.
And then we just watched the whole thing just completely change to the point where the whole fucking world is in this little rectangle. Well, and mine's different than yours, kind of.
Well, so I mean, we'll be in the history books, not you and I, but like our generation will be in the history books. Oh, we still got time,
Bryan.
That, but meaning that like when they talk about the Industrial Revolution, all these things that changed everything, we're a part of that right now. That we're in a massive change in the world is happening.
Yeah.
In our lifetime, I don't know what the world's going to look like 100 years from now, but they will look back on this time.
It's either going to be
where it started.
Run completely like this, and we see that now when we go to the store, and the computer is turned on us, or this whole thing's just going to crash down, and we're back to Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
So how would you fare if the world was a post-apocalyptic world like Mad Max or that kind of world?
I think I'd be fine in the no frills department, but in the violence department, I think I'm pretty fucked.
You're a burrower? You're going to be burrowers?
I mean, I live in an apartment for starters.
You watch Fallout?
I don't have a gun. I don't even watch Fallout. I'm fucked. So I think I'd be good. Like, I think we got enough books.
Oh, you're that guy.
I think I could handle. I don't know. It kind of depends on how well you did during the pandemic.
So you're going to be a curator type. You see all those post-apocalyptic, I mean, they're always like traveling around and there's violence pockets, and then they stumble upon this like, what is this in here?
Yeah.
And there's like a guy that's got like the big thick glasses and he's got all the books.
I'll be the Gertrude Stein of the apocalypse. I'll just get people together. No, I don't think any of us are going to do very well in that scenario.
I don't know. I wonder sometimes if I've got.
You'd have to join like a militia or something.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of. If I feel wronged, I could go over the deep side. I could go over the deep end. Especially after having kids, like you mess with my family.
No, I'm not saying
you'll break me.
I'm not saying I would have trouble being violent if someone tried to get into my home. I'm just saying I'm not good at it, and I'm not prepared for it.
Okay, fair enough.
I will of course, if you're coming in, I will take advantage of that law. If there's no rules, fuck yeah, man. Come on.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like if they're like, fuck it, we got to do it, I'm like, well, then I'm all in. Let's just go. Like, I don't think about it on a daily basis, and I'm not violent by nature. Like, I don't care about that stuff.
Right.
Doesn't get my blood going, but...
When in Rome.
When in Rome, which is where my son...
When in Rome, when it's burning.
Which is where my son is right now. It's funny.
Well, how's he doing over there? I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it, but like... Is it good to be out of the U.S., or does he not even care about all the crazy shit that's going on?
I don't even think they pay attention because it's not. That's the beauty of being over there. It doesn't. Yeah. It's not on their. If you want to see it, it's on your phone, right?
Yeah.
But he's experiencing a whole other world over there.
Yeah.
He finally, which is great, man. He's going over. That's the thing. I don't know how much traveling you've done in Europe, but like, you leave the United States, folks, you realize how old the world is.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. You get to see all these things. The oldest shit we got is 400 years old.
Yeah.
And you can't even find that. And it's not available readily. Los Angeles is like 100 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
there's nothing.
You go over there and he's all going all over Europe and stuff like that, and it's great.
Yeah.
Because I never did anything like that. I think he's just going to be way better for it when he comes back. To see all that.
I did the UK with Segura 2 years ago, and I remember just walking around in Glasgow, Scotland, like, yo, this shit's old.
Could you live anywhere else? Like when you go to those places, do you ever catch yourself going, I could do this?
I fantasize about it more and more every day, but I know I could do it. I know I'd be fine, but it would be so strange to just be part of someone else's culture. I commend anyone who moves to another country.
And in LA, you see it all the time, right?
Yeah, you see it all the time, and it's just so weird, and the little things just seem even crazier than the big things. Just like never being used to calling something. Like if I moved to England, calling the elevator the lift would just feel unholy for the rest of my life. It's the fucking elevator, right? Not a big deal,
right?
But it's just weird. I don't know. And then like, just like slight differences. Like Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. I think that's great. There's a holiday the day after Christmas.
I will say
but it's still fucking weird. What are you doing for Boxing Day? I guess boxing up my shit. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
I heard that's not even why it's called that. But that's the math I did.
I remember being over in Seoul, South Korea. And did a show for a bunch of expats. And what was weird is a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them just bitched about the country they were in. I'm like, well, then what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you here? You're either on the run,
yeah,
right? But if it's a conscious choice and you don't like things culturally that happen around you, like I just don't get it.
Right. No, I don't get that at all. And I'm thinking of something I experienced in New York City. Is I was in Times Square around Broadway, and I was at a Mexican restaurant. Everybody that works there is Mexican or Latino or whatever. There's a soccer game on. And this dude.
Oh, boy.
Whitey. This older dude. Was like, I can't believe they're playing fucking soccer. And I just go, it was like the height of the first Trump term. And I just go, it's a fucking Mexican restaurant, dude.
Wait, did you actually tell him that?
Yeah, minus the fucking.
Oh.
I go, it's a Mexican restaurant.
Well, the fact that you engaged, it felt like...
He said something.
To you.
And then on top of that, I was not in the mood for that bullshit with all this political stuff and all this like... People think like America is it is a great country. But to say it's the only country is the dumbest shit. And to say it's the only culture is the dumbest shit. So I just couldn't, and I was aware of people behaving like that because I'm on the internet. So the internet came to life for a second. And I just said, it's a Mexican restaurant.
And did it end there, or were there a series of other comments?
He was so angry that I wasn't going to white it up with him.
I got to be honest with you.
He was so angry I wasn't be like, yeah, man, play some football. He was so pissed.
I look more like someone that would agree with him than you do. I would not have pegged you to be the agreeable guy.
Best thing he had. That is the best thing he had. I was sitting at the bar and I was white, and he was like, can you believe a Mexican restaurant is doing some Mexican shit? And I'm like, yes, I can, sir. Yes, I can. Also, if you're not a sports fan, you don't give a fuck anyway. It's all something you're not going to watch. I've come a long way with sports.
So much hate on soccer. That's the one thing America still just doesn't quite want to give into.
It's only because of the points.
That's right.
That's the only reason.
It's funny because the baseball was created here, they put up with the 1-0 games.
Yeah.
But soccer, they're like, dude.
Yeah,
and I think that because if you think about it, and I love baseball. But it's like watching paint dry if you don't love baseball.
Baseball has one thing going for it, and that is you can get men on bases. And so you can see a point coming. So you can start to anticipate a point.
But yes, there's a lot of standing around.
No, there's so much standing around.
At least in soccer, just like hockey, they're never not moving. There's constant movement.
Right.
So it's not that nothing's. I think it's just, and hockey doesn't really have a full grasp in America either, right? It's mostly football, basketball, baseball, right? To an extent, NASCAR and stuff like that.
Right.
There's a following, but like they can't give it to soccer, dude. They can't.
No, they'll never get into soccer, and that's what's so funny is all our kids play soccer.
Yeah.
That's the sport all the kids play, and then we go, the sport sucks, learn to play a real sport.
No, it's what there's difference from what they play and what they'll watch.
Okay.
So playing it is fun.
But it's also not valuable.
They don't see it as a spectator sport.
Oh, you know what? I'm correcting myself now because on top of what you said, because you can still get into college on a scholarship for soccer.
You know what the big scholarship?
So it is valuable in a way.
Hugely valuable. So is lacrosse has now become the new
scholarship.
Lacrosse
was my thing. So we didn't have a football team.
Well, see, you're an East Coaster, right? That's a big
Maryland.
East Coast.
Yeah, totally. I think we're out of time, huh, Aaron?
Yeah, we're at an hour.
All right.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
Thanks for listening to the Full Charge Power Hour. Come see me. Just come see me. TheFullCharge.com is where you'll find the details. And Patreon.com/The Full Charge will get you an Eric Wendell movie review. I'm sorry to leave so soon. This is so nice being here. I should set up a tent.
I'm sure everyone would
barbecue some burgers. I could be off to the side during other people's podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we're out.